Hello, beautiful people, and welcome, to a video where we're going to examine how amazingly some of the leaks we've had over the years have aged. Have they aged like wine? Have they aged like milk? Only one way to find out. So, let's get into it. First off, from over 2 years ago, we have Ayato and Yelan sus information. Yelan is not Hydro. Ayato is not C0 DPS C6 support, instead he is a main DPS. Devs chose the worst version, Hydro Ito, on-field main DPS draft. Q burst infuses normal attacks, requires ER. Don't need to worry about strength, high multipliers, at least child's strength. So, Yelan is not Hydro. High multipliers. Well, let's read through some of the comments. Waiting for 2.6 beta, holy. Edit, thank you for all the upvotes. It was tagged as questionable though, so hey, we knew it was a little sus. Next up, Arlecchino Crumbs from Uncle K. Arlecchino not tied to Overload, you can team her with Vaporize Team. You can deal with multiple enemies. Basically no one else can use her signature weapon. And then, the pièce de résistance, Big Hutao. Big Hutao. Oh yeah, that's a banger. Big Hutao. And then we have more Arlecchino League. She runs 2 sets of teams, a vape team and a chevaleuse team. For her abilities, you can assess her based on how well she feels to play, her modified reaction, and how big her AoE is. To be fair, she's a good pull up till Shenhe. In these 2 teams, Farina and Clarin are pretty much the same character as they are in charge of off-field plus buffing. Chevaleuse use is basically like Kazuha specifically for this team. If Arlecchino bursts and takes off her clothes, is her hairstyle gonna change? Do her abilities still use sights? We gotta wait until her animations come out, but a double blade taking off her coat jacket is included in her kit. So it's like Maria, not a scythe, but dual blades? Stance change dual blades. I don't understand the next one. And then, I saw you say Arlecchino is suited to Overload. Does that mean Arlecchino individually won't be as absurd as Nevillet? Her modification is pretty absurd, but to be fair, if your raw stats aren't high enough, you won't really need reactions. Even if doing so would elevate her performance. Diverse teams with her don't require brain to use. Is Arlecchino tied to Clarin? No, she can also be played with Farina comps. Ooh. She can be played with Farina, that's great. But yeah, this one, I mean, hey, technically she's not out yet. Maybe they'll turn out to be right, who knows? Next up, about Cloud Retainer and Nevillet. About Cloud Retainer, not a Nevillet party member. See, the person who compiled these leaks for me is Lud. And, yeah, they if I go through the notes that were sent, Nevillet plunge exists, what do you mean? Thank you, Lud. Thank you very much. This means nothing, 10 out of 10 league. Geo Cat Girls Kit. Since everyone has already seen how Moka looks, and by the way, this is Kirara, okay? I'll tell you a little bit about her kit. Momoka is a Geo sword user. Her main role is shielder. Yeah, another Geo shield. E-shield has tap and press version. Hey, I mean, everything except the Geo turned out to be right. True. Ryden's specialty 3 years ago. Jesus Christ. Ryden's specialty might be stopping time. Leaker tells us to guess whether this is true or false. Ain't no way. 4 years ago. What the fuck? Systems related. Oh, yeah, 1.1 content. Daily resin claim. Friends online notice and private message system. Android 60 FPS ultra graphic settings. New main questline after AR 30. New event with rewards for Wing Glider, Mora, and Primo Gems. New character Zhongli. New world area and city Inazuma. New event rewarded character Kamisato Ayaka. Claim after AR 42 and completing all main quest lines in Leah. Optimization related. Now this is an old one. 4 years ago. That means over 4 years ago, right? September 29th, 2020. Okay, not quite over 4, but basically 4 years ago. Holy. I wasn't even born yet. True. Holy. 28th was game release? Oh shit. Inazuma in 1.1 and free Ayaka at AR42. These are some classics. Alright, next up. Shenhe and Yae leaks. Reliable source. Shenhe currently fixed for release in 2.4. Yae fixed for release in 2.5. Shenhe is a character whose model was data mined. Okay, whatever. Wait, when were they released? Wait, why are these poorly aged? Lad! It says Shenhe is Cloud Retainer. Wait, it does? Oh. Leading some to theorize she's Cloud Retainer. Ain't no way. I can't. I cannot. Close, yeah. Alright. Next up. New info about Yae. There is a new Electro Artifact set coming, but it's not for Yae. Yae's voice lines sound very sly. 2.4 and 2.5 are centered around Inca. 2.6 has a new map that's unrelated to Inca. Dendro won't have a huge impact on the meta. It'll just be a new way to play the game. Never heard of Ryden Weekly Boss. Yae doesn't lack ER, therefore doesn't necessarily need Ryden to function well. Based on this, NGA is speculating her best in slot is Shimenawa. Fits the aesthetic as well. Yae won't have a new artifact set designed for her. Her best in slot will be an existing set. Yae is an on-field DPS. Yae's mechanics are finalized, but her numbers are not. Yae uses Senora mats. Yae works decently well with Beidou. No info on Baiju. New Electra set will benefit Kutsing. Who let them cook? Oh well. Next we have collection of Uncle Solar sus leaks. Disclaimer, this uncle has no credibility in the past, other than who did the Ryden kit leak, and it contains potential spoilers for the entire Inazuma plotline. Take as a huge grain of salt. And it was tagged as misleading. Alright, there are currently no Geo or Bow characters in the standard pool 5-star. Once Gorou releases, Yoimiya would not need to enter it. Likewise, there are no shield units. In addition, there's been an influx of new players, but they are unable to obtain 5-star shielders such as Zhongli. Currently, the characters in Inazuma are unable to provide shields to allies. If Gorou is to take reference from Magu Kenki's Oni shield, he can act as Geo Singteo. This is a source of hope for newbies. The 5-star shield bow Most likely will be Gorou's signature weapon, giving some hope to the idea of Gorou scaling off of HP. High Constellation of Gorou can most likely can also act as main DPS, similar to Kazuha. However, he scales off shield strength, or shield strength adds to his damage, being both offensive and defensive. As a bow user, picking up crystallized shards is slightly more troublesome. If there was a skill that could suck up all nearby crystallized shards, then he gains the right to be a 5-star. Sucking up nearby crystallized shards then boosts damage while also revitalizing albedo as a crystallized generator. No proper person would ever pick up crystallized shards again. Currently, of those who dare to phase the lightning's glow in Kazuha's story cutscene, Gorou has the chance to fulfill that role. Dog type, Geo element, Ryden's opposition. Traveler doesn't count. What are they yapping about? In terms of character setting, as the leader of the Inazuma Resistance Army, he could have once privately been Ryden's pet and guardian. Alright. Kujo Sara is a character who is similar to Child, can switch to using knives for close combat. The Tengu has been said to use knives, so she shouldn't be merely using bows. Kujo Sara's skill will reuse what was used on Magu Kenki, similar to how Gorou has an invincible shield. That was said before even Magu Kenki was released. When using knives, her elemental skill or burst, there will be a thunder wave which damages enemies in its path. The last attack in her normal attacks, without activating her elemental skill, may also release a thunder wave. Or, the elemental burst directly moves forward with a bala bala. What the fuck? Magu Kenki's other mechanics, for example switching bodies on Ryden, Lai, Ayato, circular blade motions, this is on Kazuha, invincible shields for Gorou, we'll see in the later parts of Inazuma's cast, don't worry. Magu Kenki truly is a divine model of imitation and experimentation. He also confirms in the thread that Kujo Sara is a 4-star. Oh shit, they got one thing right. Holy. EI, not lie, I see. Oh, my bad. Sukuna's last leak updated with information for the AMA. Oh yeah. So we had Ayato will be a Hydro Claymore character that can change the sword stance with his elemental skill. Ito's elemental burst will infuse his weapon with Geo and will decrease enemies' defense by 5% each hit, stacking up 5 times. Yae's raw DPS will be on par with Ganyu, DPS ceiling for Electro. Ito's passive talent, collects souls from nearby defeated enemy, increases his attack by 1% for each soul collected, up to 20 stacks. Casting skill will consume all souls, giving him a decaying shield and summoning a spectral to absorb HP from nearby enemies, healing Ito based on a percentage of his missing HP. Fuhua's design will be reused in an upcoming Leo character. Chasm in 2.4, there will be a new Dendro character introduced. Neither Yao Yao nor Baiju. Ayato was designed based on Zhongli. Yunjin is not a Geo character. Why is this one in green? Green circle confirmed. Yunjin is not a Geo character. Okay, so for context, by the way. Alright? But yeah, for context, we had this list of leaks from Sukuna, and like, they were known as very unreliable. But sometimes right. And so, people basically thought that some of them were right, some of them were wrong. Right? That's why here it's tagged as reliable, because it's basically a compilation of all of the things that Sukuna had said, cross-reference with what other leakers have been saying to point out which ones are probably wrong, which ones could be right, and which ones are right. But, I mean, as we know, even the ones that are right are not right. Lantern Right will introduce a free Ningguang skin, as well as a paid no Chao, as well as a paid Kuting skin. Hey! True. There will be 2 female characters and 5 male characters lined up for the upcoming patches. Ayato's elemental burst in his claymore form will create a vortex that can pull enemies in, constantly applying hydro on the enemies. Characters within the vortex AoE will receive a 40% hydro damage. Scaramouche will not be made playable for the next year. Chasm Prelude will be in 2.3. Gorou's elemental burst will increase nearby party members' attack by 30% and their elemental damage by 20%. Yae's elemental burst will allow her to use both pyro and electro elemental energy. The elements will change with each attack. Her charge attack will not consume stamina during the duration of her elemental burst. Dual element Yae. I'd say that the most iconic leak out of these is Yae being DPS ceiling for Electro. That was iconic at the time. It was a true banger. Very sus leak of Ayato from Tieba. What am I even looking at? After using elemental skill, Ayato will lose all of his hair. What the fuck? Oh yeah, 2.6 leaks. And this one led to this one. Wait, no, this one came first. I don't know, man. I'm confused. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this little tour of amazingly aged leaks.